What's up today, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about the early history of The Legend of Zelda, so from the first games released in 1986 to the year 2000. This will cover about 6-ish Zelda games. The beginning of the franchise from Legend of Zelda to Majora's Mask. I'll be talking about each of the games, give a personal score, talk about what people think, how they were received, and the storyline in a brief synopsis. And stay tuned because part 2 will be coming soon, so enjoy. The first Legend of Zelda game released, The Legend of Zelda, titled after its franchise, was released in 1986 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, but you guys probably all know it as the NES. This game got pretty good reception. In it, Link must save Hyrule and Zelda from the clutches of the evil Ganon, who wants to use the Triforce to make it in his own image, like a lot of other early Zelda games. The game obviously doesn't have the greatest graphics. I mean, it was made in 1986, so what can you expect? But critics liked it, fans liked it. It wasn't insanely popular compared to other games like Super Mario Bros. And Pac-Man and other stuff out at the time, but it definitely was a popular enough game, and it really led to a lot of people becoming fans of this franchise. If I were to give it a rating, I'd give it a 8 out of 10 because it's a pretty solid game, but obviously, given the time it was made, there's only so much it could do. The next Zelda game, and probably one of my least favorites, released in 1988 for the SNES, or Super Nintendo Entertainment System, was a Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link. Now this game is weird because it's not called The Legend of Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link, it's just called Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link. They just abbreviated it. I don't know why or the point, but they did. This game, because it's abbreviated, yeah, it's worth an abbreviation. It's very frustrating, very challenging. Essentially, Zelda's fallen under some sleeping curse. You have to help Hyrule again, stuff goes on, you fight Ganon. It's basically the first game, but it's a little more developed. It also adds a side-scrolling feature, which is actually kind of cool, because other than Link's Awakening, not really many other Zelda games really have this style. Most of them are top-down or 3D. But yeah, this is just a rather strange game. I don't care for the music either. If I were to give this game a rating, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. It's one of my least favorite Zelda games. It's just really, really horrendous. It's difficult, and critics don't care for it either. It's regarded as one of the worst all around. As we moved into the 1990s, The Legend of Zelda began to become a household name in terms of video game franchises, competing a lot better with other more popular franchises like Super Mario Bros. Made by Nintendo. The first game released in 1991 of the 90s era of Zelda, by far the greatest. The golden age, you could say, is A Link to the Past. This is regarded by many as one of the best Zelda games. Some even say it is the best. I'll say it's in my top 5. It's well made. The dungeons are great. The atmosphere is great. Just the entire game feels really smooth. It's a top-down game, and the graphics are actually incredible for 1991. I honestly look at this game and it looks like something for the Game Boy Advance in the early 2000s, like Minish Cap or Four Swords, which we will discuss later. But yeah, the point of this game is similar to past Zelda titles. You kind of just have to save Hyrule, but you begin this to avenge for the death of your uncle, who was a former knight of Hyrule, who was killed by Ganon, the evil sorcerer, who is one of the main co-villains along with Ganon, who is obviously the main villain. He's been in a lot of these Zelda games. Obviously, it's a great game. It has iconic locations like the Pyramid and Turtle Rock, great dungeons, and great critical reception. I would give it a 9 out of 10. It's just about perfect, but it's not as good as other Zelda titles, which I will discuss later. Legend of Zelda game released in 19 3 is Link's Awakening. Now, this game is not even set in Hyrule, it's set in a different island universe. This was the first handheld Zelda game released for the Game Boy, which is pretty cool as the first. It switches from top down to side scrolling, similarly to Zelda 2, but it does it a lot better, and it's a lot better game. It's pretty memorable because in it, Link is on a boat voyage from Hyrule to do some training or something. This is what I got from Hyrule Historia, so correct me if I'm wrong. And he basically falls off, lands on the island, and there's similar characters to Malon and Talon from Ocarina of Time in this game, which, yeah, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good game overall. It's not the best. I mean, it's pretty decent. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. That's mainly because it's very, very good, but there are some flaws, such as the fact that the dungeons aren't very memorable, as with the bosses and enemies, and that's kind of one of the main things in Zelda, but it's a very good game nonetheless.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
Now, after that terrible, terrible game I just showed you, this one is a breath of fresh air. The crown jewel, the holy grail of the Legend of Zelda series. This is what made it as great as it is and pushed for the absolute best in gaming. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. If you guys haven't heard of this game, you're probably living under a rock. This classic Zelda title released for the Nintendo 64, Nintendo's by hands down their best system. Involves Link, who is a Kokiri boy in this game, who is summoned by the Great Deku Tree, who speaks a very nice Shakespearean tongue, which I find kind of cool. He tells him that to find Zelda and learn about the secret at Hyrule Castle, which is Ganondorf. He's appeared as friendly in the beginning of the game, but beware. He actually turns out to be the bad guy you know him as. And he is similar to Ganon, but he's a much better villain than Ganon is. He's not fat, he's fast, he's younger, and he's kind of a really just shady guy from the get-go. This game, I can't tell too much else because I don't want to ruin it. It's just too good. If I were to give this a rate, critics absolutely loved it. It was the first 3D Zelda game ever made. Sure, the graphics aren't that great, but it was made in 1998. It's fantastic. And the 2011 HD remake is also fantastic. This game is the best Zelda game. So for that, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. There's basically nothing wrong with this game. That's just how good it is. It's just so good. Anyway. Next Zelda game, a sort of sequel to Ocarina of Time, is Majora's Mask, the darkest and creepiest and most genuinely evil of the Zelda games. Now this game is pretty darn creepy. So Link is in a parallel universe to Hyrule, kind of like the Dark World from Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds, which I'll touch upon later because it's very recent. It's Termina. It is called Termina. It's a parallel universe. In it, there is a festival, but the moon is going to fall in 3 days. So that means you're timed. You only have 3 days to beat this whole game. Not 3 real days, 3 game days, which go by quick, but you can play the Song of Time. It has some creepy locales, like the swamp area, like Woodfall and Icana Canyon. And it also has one of my favorite dungeon themes, the Stone Tower Temple music, which is playing right now. It is fantastic. The game is overall really good and really creepy and mysterious, which is something I really liked. It should not be rated E, it should be rated E10. In my eyes, it actually kind of scares me. I'd give this game a 9 out of 10 because it's pretty good, but the story is not very long and you have to do a lot of side quests, which are fun, and that's what makes it the game, but because the story isn't very deep and there's only about 4 main dungeons, there's a lot that could be added for the story, but overall this game's pretty good. So that is all I've got on the early history of the Legend of Zelda franchise. Stay tuned for my part 2 of this, the Legend of Zelda franchise 2000s and beyond, which will cover everything from the Oracle games of 2001 to the newest release 2017 release, Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. Thank you guys for watching, and remember to like, comment, or subscribe, and enjoy. And yeah, there'll be a lot. So part 2 is coming soon. See you guys.